What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good Saturday. Watching some Ring of Honor. New Japan and Ring of Honor show in Japan. Matt Sydal teaming up with Jushin Thunder Liger. It's all good shit. But I have to turn it off. I'll watch it later. I'm recording it. Anyways, this video is Ask TNAWWE Guy Me. Questions I got off of Twitter. People asking me wrestling related questions. So I'm going to try to answer them. I know I call this Ask TNAWWE Guy because why not? My real name is Justin. Everybody on Twitter knows me as TNAWWE Guy. So that's why I call these videos that. I believe this is Ask TNAWWE Guy number 3 or 4. I don't remember. Anyways, for all the questions I got, thank you everybody for tweeting me questions. I'm going to try to answer them to the best of my ability right now. First question I got off Twitter is from @Ryan. Ryan, RYANK, the number 1, RK, PATR, the number 1 again, CK. Follow him on Twitter. His question to me was, where do I rate Jericho in comparison to other greats? And his other question is, what did I think of the Y2J Chris Jericho HBK feud of 2008? And then he told me it was his favorite feud ever. That's cool. That's your favorite feud ever. So, where do I rate Jericho as in comparison to other great legends? I would have to say Jericho's probably top 20. In the top 20 of all-time greats, he's been a many-time, I think 9-time Intercontinental Champion, many-time World Heavyweight Champion. Jericho has done it all. He was the first undisputed champion. Jericho has done it all in wrestling. He's done everything there is to do. So, in comparison, I would rate Jericho out of 20 legends. I would say I'd rate Jericho probably number 15 or number 10. Or probably 15, because I could name 14 others that are better. So I rate Jericho about number 15 out of 20 of all time. So that's pretty good in my opinion, that Jericho's number 15 out of all the legends that have wrestled and that have been in wrestling. And then he asked me his other question, what did I think of the Jericho HBK feud of 2008? It was one of your favorites of all time. It was very, very good. I really enjoyed the Jericho HBK feud in 2008. I thought it was great, really good stuff. They kicked it off at Great American Bash, or whatever the pay-per-view is called, the Bash, 2008. Where Jericho busted open HBK and he bled a lot. Also, Jericho smashed HBK's face into the Jeritron 5000 on the highlight reel. That was very good stuff. And then they went on to SummerSlam, where HBK and his wife came out to the ring and Jericho came out and accidentally punched HBK's wife in the mouth. And then she got a fat lip. That was good stuff. And then on to September 2008, Unforgiven, where HBK and Jericho had a pretty damn good street fight. I believe the match was unsanctioned. It was a damn good street fight. Jericho and HBK whipped each other with leather belts. It was good stuff. And then their final match, I believe, was at No Mercy 2008 in a ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. That was a very good match. I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the Jericho HBK feud. As I said, it was great stuff. It was very entertaining, very good matches by two all-time greats. Thanks for the question at Ryan1RKPATR1R1CK. Thanks for the question. Next question is from a longtime follower of mine. Great guy, great wrestling fan. I'm not sure what country you're in or where you live. I think you're in the UK. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Anyways, you're a great follower. You're a great friend. This guy, follow him on Twitter at Harv, HARVSING97. Follow him. Please follow him. He deserves as many followers as he can get. His question to me was like 3 questions that I'm going to try to answer. His first question was my top 10 worst worked matches, I guess, that I've ever seen. So some of them have been, there's been a lot worst worked matches that I've seen. One of them is from WCW's Super Brawl 2000. Ric Flair against Terry Funk. Both guys should have not been in the ring anymore. They were not in their prime. They were well over 50 years old. And it was a mess. It was painful to watch, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty damn bad. Terry Funk, Ric Flair from Super Brawl 2000 was bad. That was one of the worst matches I've seen. Another one. This might surprise some people, but one of the worst worked matches I've ever seen was from King of the Ring 98, Hell in a Cell, Mick Foley against The Undertaker. I love the match. I really enjoyed it. It was totally fucking insane. I've never seen anything like that happen ever. I mean, Mick Foley gets thrown off the cell. That was fucking insane. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then he continues and finishes a damn match. That was also insane. I don't know how he did it. Anyways, to me, Hell in a Cell 98, King of the Ring 98 was not a good worked match because Undertaker chokeslams Mick Foley. I don't think Mick Foley is supposed to fall through the cell. And the cell roof gave out and he fell through it. And he crashed. I mean, he could have died. He crashed really hard to the mat. Fell on his back. He could have fell on his head and broke his neck and been paralyzed forever. But to me, Hell in a Cell 98, Mick Foley, Undertaker was not a well-worked match. It was one of the worst. But it was entertaining as hell. Because after Mick Foley got chokeslammed through the roof, then the match continued. And it got more violent and more brutal. Mick Foley's, backdropped on thumbtacks. And then he had his tooth knocked out. His tooth went up his nose, sticking out of his nose. And then he was tombstone, and then the match was finally over. It was not a well-worked match. As I said, I loved Hell in a Cell 98 at King of the Ring 98. I really enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but it was one of the worst worked matches I've ever seen. Not of all time, but it was just bad. Because nothing went right. I don't think Mick Foley is supposed to, when he got chokeslammed, I don't think he was supposed to fall through the roof, but he gave out. Another one from there's a lot of WCW matches that I've seen that have been the worst. A lot. And you asked for a top 10, I only have 4, 5, 6. I only got 7 matches down I could think of. WCW Sin 2001 pay-per-view from January. Sid Vicious breaks his leg by jumping off the second rope. just a normal move. All he's doing is jumping off the second rope. He shouldn't have been injured, but he was. He landed wrong, and his leg snapped in half. It snapped like a twig. It was hard to watch. Very hard to watch. It was not a well-worked match. I believe it was a fatal four-way. Scott Steiner, I think, was world champion against Sid, against Jeff Jarrett, against the Road Warrior Animal. It was not a well-worked match. It was really stupid, and it was bad. And not only was the match bad, and the main event was shit, but then Sid getting injured made the match even worse. Another WCW match. From Starrcade 97, the main event, Sting against Hollywood Hogan. It was not a well-worked match. It just wasn't. That's all I got to say about it. Another WCW match. From Halloween Havoc 98, Hollywood Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior. Or WCW, they called him the Warrior because they couldn't call him Ultimate Warrior, so they called him the Warrior. Warrior Hollywood Hogan was god awful. It was really bad. It was one of the worst worked matches I've seen. Another WCW pay-per-view match, Slamboree 2000. The main event, the Triple Cage, DDP, David Arquette, Jeff Jarrett. I did not enjoy this match. I thought it was shit, and it was badly worked. It was just bad. Now on to a WWE match. I think it was Money in the Bank 2010. The original Sin Cara. He was in a Money in the Bank match, and he gets injured really quick. I believe he did a flip over the top rope, somersault, and then he lands on his leg or foot, injured his ankle, got injured, or injured his knee. The original Sin Cara was a mess. In WWE, the original Sin Cara did not work. The guy was always getting injured, or he was injuring his opponents. He was just bad. His style, what he did in the ring, did not fit, did not work in the WWE. I'm glad the original Sin Cara is gone, because that guy, he botched moves. He was not safe in the ring. He was a whining little bitch. He broke, I believe he broke one of his fingers in the match with Alberto Del Rio. And then he's telling Del Rio in the ring, stop the match. And he's telling the referee, stop the match. I'm not going to wrestle anymore. Stop it. And Del Rio is fucking pissed. I know this because I heard Del Rio say it in an interview. He was fucking pissed that the Sin Cara wanted to stop the match. And then he was also pissed at Sin Cara because Del Rio said once he fucked up in the ring and almost injured him. So that's another reason Del Rio had a good reason to be angry at the original Sin Cara. That guy all his matches were not worked well. They were pretty bad. You want to talk about some of the worst matches, worked matches, just watch an original Sin Cara match from when he was in the WWE. So those are some of my top 10 worst worked matches. Hope you're happy with my answers. Next question from the same guy, my friend on Twitter. What are some of my favorite, he was asking me, what are some of your favorite comedy segments of all time? And there's a lot of them. And they're mostly from the WWF, WWE. First one I want to say it's from 1999, Monday Night Raw. It was a Rock. For The Rock, it was This Is Your Life. Mankind was doing it for The Rock because they were tag partners. Or Mankind wanted The Rock to be his tag partner, and they eventually became The Rock and Sock Connection. So Mankind doing This Is Your Life for The Rock. It was damn funny. It was really entertaining. Back in the day, it was one of the highest, probably still is, one of the highest rated segments in Monday Night Raw history. This Is Your Life. The Rock from 99. I think it was in August of 99 that it happened, or maybe September. So, or maybe October. I'm not sure. But it was in 99. Rock, This Is Your Life. It was epic. It was funny as hell. I mean, Rock, Mick Foley, Mankind brought out one of Rock's so-called high school sweethearts or ex-girlfriends. Anyways, she starts walking up to The Rock because he said, come over here, give me a kiss or something like that. She walks up to The Rock. He puts his hand in front of her and goes, stop. He says, turn your ass around and get on out of here. That was funny as hell. And I mean, Rock and Mankind, anything they were in together was always a pretty funny segment. DX, the stuff that DX did in 2006, mostly making fun of the McMahons, Shane and Vince. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, they were DX in 2006. There were no other members. The stuff they did, dressing up Triple H, dressed as Vince, made fun of him. Shawn Michaels dressed as Shane, made fun of him. It was great, funny stuff. DX in 1998, when they made fun of the Nation of Domination, and they played a parody of the Nation. I believe is in June or July of 98 on Raw. You can find it on the network if you have it. It's from June or July 98. DX played a parody of the Nation of Domination. It was damn good, damn funny. Steve Austin in ECW. Steve Austin playing Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff in short promos, short segments backstage. Steve Austin is dressed as Hulk Hogan, ripped the yellow shirt off, and basically said at the end of the promo, this lame ass shit is not going to get the job done anywhere. And then Steve Austin walked away. And then he fell asleep as Bischoff. He had a black wig on, like he was playing the part of Eric Bischoff, as Bischoff was a commentator for Nitro when Nitro started. So basically, Steve Austin is making fun of Bischoff, and he fell asleep at the announce table, and then he woke up. He made fun of Bischoff, made fun of Nitro. It was damn funny stuff. And he even started playing some drums and saying, we got the bongos here, because Bischoff worked with Steve Mongo McMichael. So it was damn funny. And other stuff that was great comedy segments of all time. Stone Cold and Vince, Mr. McMahon feud. The stuff that Stone Cold did to Vince was epic and damn funny. Like the time he filled up his Corvette with cement. That was funny as hell. That made me laugh. The time he threatened Vince in the middle of the ring on Raw in October 98. He threatened Vince, put a gun to his head. It was obviously a toy gun. And then came out a little a poster, said bang 316. And Vince pissed himself. Vince actually pissed his pants because he's so scared that Stone Cold is going to murder him in the middle of the ring. That was damn funny stuff. Then Stone Cold picks up Vince, tells him to get up on his feet, and says, Mr. McMahon 316, I just pissed my pants. And it was damn funny. And the other stuff that Stone Cold did against Vince, like take his Zamboni, driving it to the ring, jumping off it, attacking Mr. McMahon, driving a beer truck to the ring in 99. I think March 99, he drove a beer truck and then sprayed beer all over Vince, Shane, and The Rock. That was great, funny stuff. Another great comedy segment was between Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan, Kane. They were Team Hell No. Their anger management segments with Dr. Shelby, that stuff was so damn funny. It was really funny and really great. So all that stuff was really good. That's all I got for some of my favorite backstage or favorite comedy segments of all time. Last question is, he asked, what are my worst unanswered stories from wrestling? Just pointless, stupid storyline shit that really should have never happened and made no sense, in my opinion. First was Mae Young dating Mark Henry and then announcing she's pregnant with Mark Henry's baby. That was stupid as hell, and it made no sense. And it was pointless to even put on TV, but whatever. I guess they just did it for shock TV, to try to shock people because it was the Attitude Era. And then they announced Mae Young's pregnant, and then she gives birth on Raw in 2000. She gives birth to a hand. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say about that. It was stupid as hell. It wasn't even funny. Looking back on it, it was a little bit funny, but I didn't laugh. I felt like throwing up when I saw a hand come out. When they pulled a hand out, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm about to vomit because it was disgusting. Another one that was pointless. Katie Vick, Triple H, Kane storyline. To me, this was offensive. And this is the only thing that I have ever gotten offended by watching wrestling for years and years. This was offensive to me. Triple H, it was totally pointless to even do this. Triple H climbed in the casket where a doll of Katie, he called her Katie Vick, and that is Kane's former, a girl that Kane had a crush on or something, and then she supposedly died in a car wreck or something like that. Anyways, Triple H sneaked in a funeral home, dressed with a Kane mask on, climbs in the casket, acts like he has sex with a dead Katie Vick. It was stupid. It was pointless. It should have never happened, in my opinion. It did nothing for this storyline. It did nothing to further the storyline or to make me care about wanting to see Kane win the World Heavyweight Championship. I just didn't care. I knew Triple H was going to win and keep the title and bury Kane anyways. So the whole Katie Vick crap was stupid. Katie Vick stuff was worse than Mae Young giving birth. Another stupid thing that happened. I mean, just worst unanswered stories. It was just stupid. Terry Runnels. Terry announces first she leaves Goldust and goes with Val Venis, makes a sex tape with Val Venis, and then Goldust is playing Dustin Runnels' character. He's no longer Goldust. He found God. And then Dustin Runnels is crushed that Terry went to Val Venis and filmed a sex tape with him, because Terry was still married to Goldust, or Dustin at the time. So then Terry announces she's pregnant on Raw in 98 to Val Venis. She announces, I'm pregnant. And Val Venis is pissed. He gets on the mic and says, you're pregnant. He goes, it's not my baby. I don't care what you do with it, but it's not my baby. Keep me out of this and get away from me, or something like that. So Val treated her like a scumbag. Anyways, Terry then announces that she lost a baby and had a miscarriage. That was just stupid and should have never happened and been in wrestling. Having a woman announce they had a miscarriage has no place in pro wrestling. It was stupidity. And it was one of the worst things that ever happened. It was just dumb. And I'm sure it's really hurtful to a lot of women that watched WWF at the time. A lot of women that had miscarriages, then had to have a miscarriage involved in a storyline. It was stupid, unnecessary shit. Another one that is really dumb and really bad. Vince making out with Tory Wilson. Mr. McMahon in 2001, I believe it's in May or June, one of those times, in May or June of 2001, Vince started making out with Tory Wilson backstage, and then Vince was caught. Tory took his pants off and told him to take his pants off, so Vince had his pants down on his ankles, and then he made out with Tory, and then I don't know why this made no sense to me. Why Vince had to make out with Tory Wilson with his pants down, in his underwear, with his shirt off. And then he was busted and caught by his wife Linda. And then Linda or Tory, one of them, got pissed and pushed Vince over. And then he fell over on the ground with his pants down. It was stupidity. So those are some of the worst unanswered stories in wrestling, in my opinion. Thanks for the questions at... Where the hell that paper? Here it is. Thanks for the questions at Harv, HARVSING 97. Everybody follow him. He's a great follower, a great friend of mine. Next question is from at Tony Starks _. That's at Tony, TONY, capital STARKS _. That's at Tony Starks. Follow him. Same name as Iron Man, Tony Starks. So follow that guy, _ at Tony Starks _ on Twitter. His question to me was, what are my thoughts? My thoughts on the tag team division at the moment. Who should eventually dethrone the New Day? That's easy. I think Enzo and Big Cash should dethrone the New Day and defeat them for the tag titles. Enzo and Cash are my pick to do it. And what do I think of the tag team division? I think it's very good. It's probably the best it's been in many, many years, at least 5 or 10 years. It's very good. They got the New Day, they got the Usos, they got the Dudleys, they got the Ascension, even though the Ascension is irrelevant and nobody cares for them. They're still a team. They got the Vaudevillains now caught up. They got Enzo and Cash now caught up. Great tag team. They could bring up even the Revival, Dash and Dawson. They could bring them up. They're a great team. So the tag team division at the moment is very, very good. I really enjoy tag team wrestling. I'm a big fan of it. And I hope more teams come to the main roster and it just gets better and better for us. Thanks for the question at Tony Starks _. Next question is from at Team _Lesnar. Follow this guy, good friend of mine. Big wrestling fan. Big WWE fan. He has a YouTube channel. I think your YouTube channel is Team Lesnar. That's the name of it. It's Team Lesnar on Twitter. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He does videos and Raw reviews. And he does Ask Lesnar, Ask Team Lesnar questions every week. He gets questions from people on Twitter and he does a video and answers them. So subscribe to his YouTube channel, Team Lesnar. Also, follow him on Twitter at Team _Lesnar. Follow him. His question to me was, I think, 2 or 3 questions. First one was, what are 2 of my favorite tag teams of all time? That's very easy. I could have said probably 3 or 4 or 5, I have that I really enjoy. But I will say one of them is Demolition. They are one of my favorite teams of all time. The other is the Dudley Boys. They are also one of my other favorites of all time. So they are my two favorite tag teams. Demolition. If you don't know who Demolition is, I don't think you were born when they were around in the late 80s. Just watch the WWE Network. Watch WrestleMania 4. Demolition wins the tag titles for the first time. Watch WrestleMania 6. Demolition wins the tag titles again. Demolition is on Saturday Night Main Events on the network. They're also on SummerSlam pay-per-views. SummerSlam 88. SummerSlam 89. SummerSlam 90. I wasn't a fan of when Demolition was a three-man team with Crush, Smash, Axe. I was only a fan of Demolition when they were just Axe and Crush, a two-man team, not a three-man Demolition. And the Dudleys, I'm pretty sure you know who the Dudleys are. They are fucking epic, and they're a great team. I love their work in ECW. They were awesome heels in ECW, even better than they are right now as heels. Even though right now the Dudleys are pretty damn good heels in 2016 still. Thanks for the question at team_Lesnar. Next question from him is, would this roster be successful in the Attitude Era or Ruthless Aggression Era? I would have to say yes, I think it would be, because in the Ruthless Aggression and Attitude Era, there was no PG TV. It was not PG TV. So you can't really, you put all this great talent in 2016 in the Attitude Era or Ruthless Aggression Era, they would have succeeded very well. They would have all done very, very well, because they wouldn't have been in PG. They wouldn't have been living in TV PG. They wouldn't be handcuffed like they are now. A lot of the talent is handcuffed and cannot, they can't swear. The only swearing they can really say is ass and bitch. That's all they can really say. Not that they have to say anything else, but whatever. A promo is better, in my opinion. Instead of saying, come out here, I'm going to kick your butt, a promo is way better just saying, get your ass out here, because I'm going to kick your ass. So, all the talent, I'm talking about Ambrose, Owens, Enzo, Big Cash, The New Day, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, I already said Kevin Owens, even John Cena. Well, it's Cena, I don't know, I think Cena would get, he would have probably got really, really booed in the Attitude Era unless he was a full heel for the entire run. Then he probably would have got cheered. If he's doing his rapping gimmick where he come to the ring and put his opponent down, then he would have probably got cheered. But everybody on the roster today would probably do very well in the Attitude Era, except for the Usos. The Usos in the Ruthless Aggression or Attitude Era, in my opinion, how their characters are now, they wouldn't have survived. They would have not survived. And a lot of guys, Ambrose, Owens, Enzo, Big Cash, New Day, all those guys, Randy Orton, all those guys would have succeeded very well in the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era. But again, you can't really compare. I can't really compare the rosters on who was better, because the Attitude Era, you had guys like Stone Cold, Mick Foley, Undertaker, even Bret Hart was around in '97. You had the Nation of Domination, you had The Rock, you had great, legendary talent that was in the Attitude Era. But right now you have very good talent in 2016. Very, very good talent in the WWE. This is probably the roster they got right now. Even guys that are injured. You could say this roster in 2016 is maybe the best that they've ever had. I mean, you're talking about Neville. He's injured. He's out. Cesaro, he just came back. Cesaro is great. AJ Styles is now in the WWE. He's great. Kevin Owens is great. Ambrose is great. Roman Reigns, if he was a heel, he would be great. But how they're treating his character is pretty much crap right now. And he's going to keep getting booed if he keeps cutting stupid promos saying, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm just me. And whatever. So, I think the roster, basically, final answer, the roster today, a lot of them would do very good in the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era. Next question. Team_Lesnar asked was, my opinion on Bray Wyatt being injured overseas, I believe, on the European tour. On the European tour, he was injured. I think a week ago or a couple days ago. He suffered a calf injury. That's a bad injury. I hope it's not serious, and it really sucks that Bray Wyatt has been injured again. Because he was injured going into WrestleMania. He was injured. He had a bad back injury. I don't know how he got a back injury, but he had a back injury. So I'm a Bray Wyatt fan, and it just sucks that he's injured again. It really sucks. And I hope his injury's not too bad and he can be back in a month and be wrestling in a month. But I don't think he'll be wrestling at Payback. The next pay-per-view, I doubt it. Thanks for the questions at Team_Lesnar. Thanks for the questions. Yeah, you had some good questions that you asked. Thanks for the questions. Next question is from at Sasha Crew 1984. Follow that person. It's spelled out at SASHAKREW 1984. At Sasha Crew 1984. I hope I pronounced it right. Their question to me was, what's my opinion on at Real Melina, former WWE Diva Melina, formerly part of M&M, former Women's Champion, Divas Champion. My opinion on her is, I always liked her look. I always liked her in the ring. So, I liked her. I liked her look and her talent. I thought she was always very good at what she did when she was a manager, screaming at the top of her lungs. I thought she was good at that. And she was good in the ring, and she has good looks also. So, I like Melina. That's my opinion of her. Thanks for the question at Sasha Crew 1984. Next question is from at Giant_KRABB. Follow that person on Twitter. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but whatever they are, follow them. Question, they had 3 of them. 3 questions. First one, what event are you looking forward to this year? Well, I would have said NXT TakeOver Dallas before, but that already happened. So I would have to say NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which will take place in August, and SummerSlam pay-per-view. Those are the events I'm most looking forward to. Next question, thoughts on all WWE Women's Show. I would like to see it, and because I'm a big fan of women's wrestling, big supporter of women's wrestling, so I would like to see an all-women's show. At least give them an hour, 1 hour show on the network. I mean, you have so many women in NXT that don't even get used. Like Alexa Bliss, she hardly gets used. Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, Liv Morgan. Talent like that could be on an all-women's show on the network. It could be 30 minutes or it could be 1 hour. They could also put, Emma on there and Paige and anybody they want on the all-women's network show. And I'd rather see an all-women's wrestling show on the network than Total Divas continue. But whatever, Total Divas is going to still continue. So I would like to see an all-women's show very much. I would enjoy that. Last question. Should SummerSlam be outdoors? Yeah, why not? Sure, why not? It should be outdoors. It'd be a great look, but I don't think they're going to do it for a while. But if you watch SummerSlam 1992, SummerSlam 92 was outdoors in Wembley Stadium, London, England. It looked great. The look of the show at SummerSlam 92 looked very, very good. It looked great. So, should it be outdoors? Yes, why not? Of course it should. But it's not going to be anytime soon. Thank you for the questions at Giant_KRABB. Thanks for the questions. This ends my answering my Twitter questions. Thanks for all the questions, everybody. I enjoyed answering them. I enjoyed doing this video. I'll be doing another Ask TNA WWE Guy maybe in a week or 2 weeks. It'll be sooner than 3 weeks. I'll do another one. So thank you for all the questions. Again, follow me on Twitter at TNAWWEGuy. Hope you enjoyed the video and my answers. Bye for now.